And I remember overhearing a girl talk to her friend once that she could never date a guy who didn't hunt and drive a big truck like her daddy did. And I drove a minivan at the time. Not just any minivan, a 1992 Plymouth Grand Voyager, mint condition, tinted windows, middle row of seats had built-in baby seats, fold down, right? So I hear that, it's so frustrating because it's like, you want to marry a guy like your dad? I'm ready to be a dad right now. I got the carriage, sweetheart. Dad material right here. Also, it's Alabama. You can probably just marry your dad if you want to. You know? Get ahead of that. I'm so glad to be married now because I was just always very awkward with like how I approached girls when trying to date. I was never like smooth, no smooth lines. I played like the I'll be your friend for a long time, and you're like, does he? Does he not? Does he like me? And I'm like, I'll never tell. I'm just gonna be your friend because I don't know either. Are you gonna make the move? So I was never really, smooth, but one of my best friends in college is this dude named Chris. Huge, tall, buff, handsome black dude. He played for the football team for a year, and he got like a bunch of chicks from that. And then he was in a frat, and he got a bunch of chicks from that. I remember one time he was like, Paul, I'm just having too much sex, and I'm tired of it. I want to like not have sex for a while. And I was a virgin, so I was like, step into my dojo, man. You want to not have sex? Let me show you the ways, brother. Let's get that under control now. Take out your Bible. And I remember one time he was like, Paul, you should rush my frat. And the frats at Auburn, like, believe it or not, Alabama still has some segregation. Very sci-fi, I know. But his frat, all black frat. And I was like, Chris, is that allowed? And he's like, yeah, you can be like our token white guy. And I was like, why does that sound like I'm going to be your frat's pet, And he's like, no, like you're funny. You could be like our funny white guy in the frat. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you think I'm funny? He's like, dude, you're hilarious because you sound and act like the impression that black people do of white people. I was like, excuse me, mister, that's not funny. And he's like, exactly. So he invited me to one of his frats parties to like check things out, and I show up, and I'm the only white dude. The only other white people at the party, these two random white chicks. And one of them she's got to be an athlete or like an Avengers. She's like jacked. Traps, ear to shoulder. So I'm hanging out with Chris, and he's like, go talk to some ladies, man. And I'm like, what do I say? And he's like, you find the hottest girl in here, and you go up to her, you look at her in the eyes, and you say, you the baddest bitch in here. And look, I was in my best button-down, tucked into my khakis, boat shoes self. But I was like, Chris, when you say that, it works because you have BDE, you have big dick energy, so it sounds sexy and cool. It doesn't sound like that when I say it because I have PPE, polite penis energy, okay? Bear with me. It just sounds different when I say it, okay? Like if I try it out, it's gonna be like, excuse me, hey, sorry to bother you. I just had to tell you, you're a very bad biatch, and out of all the B words here tonight, you're the worst. So, sorry to bother you. Thank you. Good. Okay. The only girl that talked to me that whole night was the jacked white girl. And no joke, she walks up to me, she shakes my hand, she goes, "You have really soft hands and pretty eyes." I was like, oh my gosh, am I the baddest bitch in here? Hello?